Hey everybody, Hoosier Jedi here with another review for you. This time I'm talking episode 7 of season 4 of The Flash, Therefore I Am. This is our big origin episode for the Thinker, and it really advances the storyline with him and the Flash just kind of putting their cards on the table and like, okay, we're enemies this season. And I mean, the origin of the Thinker is very nicely done. It does tie in with the particle accelerator explosion. Excuse me. Back in season 1, I mean, we even have Tom Cavanaugh. He gets to sort of slip back in there and be Eobard Thawne again very briefly. And I love that bit where Thawne recognizes Clifford as the Thinker. And he's just like, oh, I'm a big fan. He's just like, oh man, this guy's gonna make Barry's life such hell. It's great. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a he has a genuine little fanboy moment. It's very funny and so in keeping with Reverse Flash's character. And I really did like the relationship between Clifford and his wife. I mean, it's very clear that these two people are genuinely very deeply in love, and that even as they do sort of go down this incredibly dark path, this doesn't change. You know, his wife refuses to let him fall into anger and self-pity. She refuses to let him push her away. And, you know, as cold as he is as the Thinker, Clifford remains extremely devoted to her. Like, she is the one person in the world that matters more to him than anything. And it's an interesting parallel between Barry and Iris. Iris even says this episode, again, we are the Flash. And in a way, Clifford and Matils, or Matisse, I can't quite remember exactly how you say this lady's name, they are the Thinker. I mean, her designation, you know, comic book wise, is actually the Mechanic, but it is through their combined efforts that the Thinker is possible. And I do like how Clifford has covered all the bases. Cisco's powers, covered. Getting a hold of some of his DNA to test for the metagene, he's got it covered. He even uses Barry's job as a police officer against him. Now, granted, you know, cops talking to a person twice in about 2 days or so isn't really that crazy. But on the other hand, as is pointed out by Singh, there is no investigation going on here. This is basically Joe and Barry completely going off on their own. And, you know, bothering this guy when they really have no legal right to. And of course, Barry is completely in the wrong when he breaks into the Thinker and his wife's house. I mean, and once again, the Thinker was ready for him and uses Barry's job against him. And I like how Singh points out, it's like, man, you're lucky I'm not arresting you for this. And, you know, even if Barry had found some evidence that Clifford was the Thinker, it would have been inadmissible in court due to, you know, rules about illegal search and seizure. So, yeah, a nice little bit of realism there. Let's see, what else? Definitely some nice nods and shout-outs this episode. I mean, come on, the Flash saying that his spider sense is tingling. How do you not love that? And I also liked how they really did show everybody's like, Barry, are you going off the deep end here? Because we have seen Barry go off the deep end more than once, so it is entirely believable. But I mean, the real highlight of the episode. No, in all fairness, I also got to say that the flashback with the proper origin of the Thinker, where we see him getting struck by lightning too, and the particle accelerator explosion, all beautifully done. I never get tired of watching that weird stuff that happens with liquids whenever the Speed Force is involved. And I love that. It's great. But the real climax of it all is, of course, when Barry confronts Clifford for the third time, and Clifford's just like, okay, let's not play games with each other anymore. The fastest mind alive versus the fastest man alive. That's what we're doing here. And this does save us a lot of time and tedium of Barry continuing after Clifford and everybody thinking like, dude, you're going off the deep end. It is contained to the one single episode. It makes sense and it works. Now, I guess some people are probably wondering, well, why didn't Clifford just keep going at it, keep denying all of this, just to sort of poke at Barry a little bit more? Well, I think we do have to keep in mind that Clifford does respect the Flash. I mean, he does respect him. He's like, yeah, my victory is a foregone conclusion, but he does, I think, have genuine respect for Barry's intelligence. It's just much less compared to his own. But then that's true of everybody else on the planet. And I think he understands that Barry is a good person. I mean, it's even pointed out that something like 2,300 people gain metahuman abilities, and most of them are going around knocking over jewelry stores. Barry is one of the exceptions. He has used his powers mostly for good, and mostly for the benefit of others. And even the whole situation where whatever the thinker is ultimately trying to do, the Enlightenment, he calls it, which is also the name of a time of great scientific knowledge and discovery, if you know your Western history. He seems to be genuinely operating for what he believes to be the greater good of mankind. And he also genuinely respects the love between Iris and Barry. He even says, like, nah, I'm going to leave them alone so that they can enjoy their wedding. What is intelligence without love? So, yeah, I do think that he does respect Barry, and it doesn't really change anything. It just really kind of confirms what Barry already knew. And yes, it gets the rest of Team Flash firmly in Barry's corner, but the Thinker in no way, shape, or form considers them a threat. I mean, he's already shown he's been able to play them like puppets so far, and has no reason to think that he can't continue to do that. So it's just a matter of respect. It's like, okay, let's just here between you and me, masks off, let's talk. And I think a small part of it might even just be, sure, he's already won this battle in his own head. But winning a battle in your own head and then actually do it in real life, well, those are two different things. I think Clifford really does want to prove that he is better, that he is smarter than the Flash. I mean, look at the way he quickly dismisses Savitar and Zoom and Thawne. I mean, Thawne? I mean, it's pointed out that man is a genius, and even by the standards of the 23rd century, or wherever the hell he's from, he was considered basically one of the smartest people on two legs. And the Thinkers laughing at his intelligence? Well, that's something. So yeah, I do think there is a little bit of ego involved in the whole situation. And as we've seen, particularly with Reverse Flash, it's ego that's always these guys' downfall. You gotta love that Wally is back, and oh my god, the pure joy of him mentioning, like, yeah, I had a fight with a giant alien starfish, which of course people from the comics will know. It's like, oh my god, Starro? They actually reference Starro, who is basically an evil telepathic starfish. Although he I think always works better when they sort of play him as more like a cosmic horror kind of thing. Oh man, there was a great Howard Porter, Grant Morrison story back during the Justice League days. It was some kind of Justice League special, Justice League annual, I think, where the League fought Starro, and it was really wonderfully done. And oddly enough, the battle took place in Blue Valley. So yeah, yeah, guys. I mean, this is all in all a great episode. I really, really enjoyed it. All these fun shoutouts, all this great stuff with Clifford and Barry. We get to see. And they even mentioned Zato Ichi. If you've never heard of these, this is basically a film series from here in Japan. I live in Japan, in case you forgot. And it's basically about a blind swordsman named Zato Ichi. And in terms of like samurai movies, outside of the stuff that Akira Kurosawa did, this is widely considered some of the best stuff in terms of samurai movies. I've seen two of them, and yeah, they're genuinely quite good movies. There's an older series, and then there's some newer ones with Takeshi Kano, aka Beat Takeshi, which were also very, very well received. So if you want to check out some quality Japanese cinema, yeah, definitely go check out those old Zatoichi movies. They're really quite cool. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it here. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Hoosier Jedi. And please also join me on Tumblr at Jedi Reviewer. Until next time, take care and have a good one.